Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning in and joining me today. So in today's video, I'm picking up from where I left off in my last video where I shared my experience using the Faber-Castell Polychromos color pencils for the first time. So if you haven't seen part 1 yet, then definitely make sure to check that out as well. So just sit back and relax and enjoy watching me work through the sketch, and do stay tuned until the very end to hear my final thoughts on the Polychromos color pencils. All right, how should we begin? Well, with this one, I want to kind of establish an atmosphere. So I am going to start with a kind of a light wash to go over the whole thing to start. What should I pick for my atmosphere color is the question. Maybe like a turquoisey color. Actually, I had one right here that could probably do the job. Yeah, I think I'm gonna maybe work with that and see. All right, I'm just gonna lay this color over the entire area so that, actually maybe just the shadow area, so that it establishes this nice kind of atmosphere. By the way, this is supposed to be like Little Red Riding Hood, and I used to just randomly draw a little Red Riding Hood kind of character all the time because I like how her hood creates this like interesting shadow shape on her face, and I really like playing with shadows when I'm painting and when I'm drawing. But with painting especially, it's a lot of fun because you can really play around with like the warm and cool kind of color scenarios. So yeah, maybe the shadows are kind of this cool color and the light is a warmer color. And for our warm color, probably just this one maybe, or maybe this more orangey one. Yeah, this is the cad orange, right? Yes, cad orange. So yeah, just laying in a base. It's kind of like how in watercolor you start with a light wash of color to lay down as a base. It's basically the same thing. And I also like it because it tones down the white of the paper, and the white of the paper can be a little intimidating to try and tackle, so it just gives a nice bit of context for you to work from right off the bat. All right, there we go. And because I want to kind of work through this quite fast, I'm going to start by bringing out the drawing first, instead of worrying about bringing out all the, like rendering all the features slowly. Let's use a nice dark kind of neutral color for those deeper shadows. And that's a little bit too dark. Maybe this one. Yeah, that works. Yeah, so wow, that is very pigmented. Do not need much pressure with that one. Wanting to bring out the drawing a little bit faster, so I have a better idea of where I'm going. Really just treating this like I'm using pencil, basically. Not worrying about colors right at the moment. And just slowly building up those values. And let's throw in our iconic red color for the hood. Let's see, let's pick the right red first. I think that works. Might be a little bit darker than I would like. Yeah, it might be a little bit darker than I would like, so I might have to go in with a pink or something. No, not with a pink, but with a warmer color. You know, all the reds are so similar. It's hard to tell. That one's a little bit too dark. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, y'all. Dark kind of navy color for her hair. Maybe this one? Yeah. Bring that warmth in the ear. What color should I give her eye color? Maybe like an amber color, maybe a green? Yeah, maybe a green. Like these. I'll start with these. And then go from there. It reminds me a little bit of Sonic because of the blue. Not sure if that is a desirable outcome, but you get what you get. All right. Let's tone her cheeks a little bit. But instead of an orangey kind of base, let's stick with the pinks. She kind of has a mischievous kind of smile. Well, not even mischievous, maybe just straight up evil. Her eyes are coming together a little bit more, getting a clearer sense of the eye direction. I really just love slowly bringing out all the little rendering detail. And that, to me, is probably the most fun thing about using color pencils. Trying to make it look like the half of her head is in shadow, but going in slowly because I don't want to mess up. That's the scary thing about using color pencils is that you can't erase it. So tread with caution. I'm actually really liking this so far already. I'm liking this like turquoisey color for her hair, so I think I'm gonna stick to that instead of trying to like kind of nudge it towards a brown color, which is a little bit more typical. I'm slowly coloring around this like highlight that I want to reserve. A little pop of warmth in these areas. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick to the warm light scenario. So I think that's kind of nice, that contrast between the warm and the cool here. Bring in some of this blue here. Maybe. Let's see, how should we move forward? Let's build up on the hair a little bit more. Still lots more to do on that hair. Let's emphasize the shadow underneath the hood. See how my room is making strange noises? That's what I have to put up with. Can you tell I'm trying to hurry? I don't want this to drag on to the next day, and I am getting close to losing the light soon, so better pick up the pace. So I like having that side of the face kind of blend in with that bit of hair there, though I created this weird kind of chin line that I'm gonna try to get rid of now. Oh, I think I made it a little bit worse, but that's okay. Let's see. Yeah, see, that's the danger of using color pencils, because they, especially pigmented ones, because wow, do they ever stain or what? I think it's not so bad. We can work with that, folks. We can work with it. That's stuck in my head, oh my god. Alright, let's pull back and assess what needs to get done from here. So let's bring a little bit more cobalt turquoise. That's why it is so saturated. Holy crapoly. Probably didn't need to really highlight the ear, but whatever. So let's work on the hood a little bit more. I feel like I'm having to mix a bunch of colors together to get the kind of red that I want, but maybe I just haven't explored closely enough. I haven't really been reaching for any new colors after all. Yeah, actually that's a good one here. And let's bring in some complementary colors for a change. Kind of tempted to like try to smudge some of this pigment around with my fingers. See how that goes. Does it do anything? Oh, it does. Well, good to know. Building up all these layers in color pencils is a little tedious, but the result is so worth it. If it looks very like multi-dimensional, right? It's a little bit of a pain having to constantly pick up new colors and then like switch them out every few strokes, but I find that the reward is quite nice. Patience does end up paying off in the end. All right, let's start committing to some of these lines here. Well, I can make things a little bit sketchier, give a little bit more texture. I guess is what I should say, not sketchy. Let's throw in some green on this side to kind of echo the green of her eyes. And solidify her hair once and for all. Let's see, maybe some blue like this. If not a blue, maybe a purple, just to change it up a little bit. Maybe this periwinkle. I'm just trying to add a little bit more color variation in this hair just to make it a little bit more interesting. Because right now it's just a sea of the same color. Sea of blue or turquoise. And simultaneously bringing out a little bit more of the texture. And now that I put some purples in here, I kind of want to carry that up on the top there. I should give a color to this highlight. Actually, maybe this turquoise will do. A little bit of green is unsettling. I think what this set is also missing is a very light pink, because I find myself looking for it from the Scholar set. But with that said, I'm really enjoying this set so far, and yeah, I feel like I'm not really talking about it very much because I don't know, there's really not much to talk about when I'm just working with it, you know? A sign of good art materials is when you're just able to do what you need to do and not actually have to think about it. And so I feel like I really haven't had much need to think about it. I should bring this to a close here, and I don't really want to render any of these things, so I'm just gonna treat it as a sketch, like so. And I think I'm gonna go in and lay in my finishing touches. So just solidifying the expression a little bit better. Alright, I think finally it's time for some of the finishing touches. Implying a little bit more of the texture of the hair and any kind of last minute color decisions I want to make. Kind of regret doing that, but so it goes. So it goes. I want to see what happens if I kind of tone this whole side down a little bit. Because right now I feel like this is competing with this. Oh, no. Why did I do that? I put blue in her lips. Mayday. I mean, that kind of works. Okay, I think that's good enough for now. I think I can finally call this done. Yeah, I actually quite like that. Last little marks, all right? It never ends. So the absolute last thing I think I want to do on this piece is I want to make some more visible marks on the hair. Right now it feels a little bit too blended, so I just want like a few accent brush strokes to kind of make that area pop a little bit, and I want to inject a little bit more color through that as well. So let's see, I probably need to pick some pretty strong colors that are going to stand out. That kind of works, but it's appearing a little bit too dark, so I think I have to lighten up a little bit. Just for a little bit of a textural variety, because when it's all evenly blended, it looks a little bit too mundane. It's a little bit too same. I really want a very bright punch of like magenta kind of color. I'm wondering if that's too dark now. Yeah, I feel like if anything, I'm really missing the pinks. Pinks are not as bright and punchy as I would like. I feel like this is not really working since not getting the exact color that I'm after. I feel like I'm making it almost just more distracting. Maybe I should just be happy with that. So I think I'm going to call it done for today's video. Unfortunately, I didn't get around to doing this one here, but I think I was able to capture a lot in the video nonetheless. So I'm pretty happy with that. And I hope you guys were able to get a clear sense of how the Polychromos pencil crayons work in action. Again, this is just my first impression of this product, and I was just sharing my observations as I went along. But if I were to say anything so far, I think they're really great, and I am really looking forward to using them more and learning more about them. The thing I was afraid of the most, which is the pressure in having to get the pigment going, I really felt like I didn't have to press as hard or harder than I usually do with my Prismacolor Scholar pencils. And in fact, a lot of the colors were a lot more pigmented than the Scholar pencils and were just a lot easier to use without having to use so much pressure, which I guess is a little bit of a given since these are artist grade as opposed to the Prismacolor Scholar ones, but still pleasantly surprised nonetheless. In fact, I think the rigidity of the lead feels really nice. It feels very sturdy, and I feel like I am definitely getting a little bit more bang for my buck. No breakage at any point, even though I was pressing quite hard trying to get some of those accent marks. Whereas with the Prismacolors, I definitely expect a little bit of breakage, especially when I sharpen the pencil to get that fine point for those details. So this was a lot of fun. It's always fun when you take a sketch and you bring it to life with colors. I really love doing that, especially with color pencils, since it's just so accessible, so easy to reach for. And I'm really looking forward to doing that more in my sketchbook, since I honestly didn't even expect it to go on the sketchbook as well as it did. So with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!